Hello and welcome to Diamonds and Duds. I am Ivan.
And I am Charles.
Welcome, Charles, to episode 41.
41.
We've been doing this quite a while, and you would think we know what we're doing.
We're getting better.
We're getting better. We joined 10 years ago, and the last few episodes we've been live and in person here.
Yeah.
Well, what movie are we doing today, Charles?
Well, today we got something 10 years ago. It's a video game adaptation, another one. We've done a couple of these. Video game adaptation of Warcraft.
Warcraft. Now, you were a big Warcraft player as a kid, weren't you?
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed before World of Warcraft came out. I enjoyed the first couple, like whatever genre. Yeah. I enjoy those. We had a share, because we had a shareware version of, I think, Warcraft 2 for a long time.
Right.
But I actually still own through GOG, Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3 full. I played both campaigns a couple times. I think I actually went through Warcraft 2 quite a bit of it, maybe last year. But then I got into World of Warcraft a number of years before this came out, and Warcraft. The World of Warcraft's been out for so damn long now.
For me, I played those two. It was always I always wanted to play World of Warcraft, but it was always kind of a luxury thing that obviously as a kid, our parents weren't going to pay $10-15 a month. When, let's just say, for everybody watching, our dad, rest his soul, was not the biggest fan of video games on his computer. Anytime my father broke the computer by clicking crap he shouldn't click, he would instantly get mad at us for putting those darn video games on his computer.
Video games.
Yeah, he would, and it was instantly our fault. So I started playing it probably in the last 3 or 4 few years, and it's been fun.
Yeah, and I played it. I first started a long time after that. When I first started, I don't even think they were flying mounts, or at least they were. They were mounts. I just don't think they were flying mounts. Started playing I want to say the second. So probably Wrath of the Lich King.
Okay.
I think that's right around that time is when I first started playing on the laptop. And a lot of things like, because now like you can be Horde or Alliance on the same server. And those days you had to make a choice, and that choice was it. And so I was an Alliance guy. And so that was kind of like, if you were Warcraft, you were either Alliance or Horde. And at first, I was on what's known as a PvP server, basically. There was no opt-in, basically. The Horde, like the opposing side, if they could just attack you.
Oh, wow.
At will while you're doing the quest. Most of the time, it either, like, sometimes, most people didn't do anything, or most of them, like, if a Horde encountered you, they kill you once and then move on. But everyone
just to kind of say they did,
yeah, and then they would just do their quest next to you, like, all right, they've killed you.
They're not going to be a dick.
There was a dicks every once in a while, but it was a blue once in a blue. But when I re-upped, I've switched to non-PvP servers.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm on a non-PvP server, and I want to say the first character I picked was what he called an undead mage, because from what I remember, the undead could do something that, like, because my first character, I wanted to be sure I could heal myself.
Yeah.
That was the big thing, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing, so I wanted to have a distance character that could heal himself easily. So anyway, we're rambling on.
Yeah. So I'll give. Do you want me to give the?
Yeah.
So all right. So K126. Humans and orcs clash when Draenor warriors arrive at Azeroth through a portal in this fantasy tale based on the popular game Warcraft.
This one of the things I was looking at. This was got a 29%, Charles, on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
The fans was 76%, which I thought was pretty high. Which was pretty, because there are parts of this that I like.
Yeah.
But to kick us off, since we're doing a video game, Charles.
All right.
And people on the video here, if you're listening there on Spotify or wherever, on the on the video version on YouTube and stuff, we're gonna have in the video of it, we're gonna have more of some of this stuff listed to make it easier to see.
Yeah.
Too. But we're gonna do a little game, Charles.
Okay.
A top 5.
Top 5.
What this is going to be 1 to 5. This is going to be movie. I'm going to give you a sci-fi movie from the 90s.
Okay.
Okay. It's a sci-fi movie from the 90s that, as far as Ivan knows, did not have a video game adaptation to it.
Okay.
But would you have wanted a video game adaptation to it? And if you can think of one, what do you think that video adaptation game would look like?
Okay. Yeah.
And it's so 1 would be the best, 5 would be the worst.
Okay.
And once you give me what place you want to put that in, you can't change it.
Fair. Okay. I like that. I like this.
First, we're going to give you Galaxy Quest.
Okay. Remind me of the game. I see. The Galaxy
Yeah,
Quest is the movie.
The Galaxy Quest is the movie.
Yeah,
if there were
what
to be
type of game that I want? Okay. I had it reversed.
Basically,
Yes.
would you want a game based on Galaxy Quest?
Oh yeah, absolutely. With the comedy aspect of it, I think because Star Trek Voyager recently came out with like a roguelite, not roguelite, kind of like city building type game. You don't want something like that. You want something that would lead into, whether it's the voice actors or just replacement voice actors, more likely. You want something with a little more comedy. And considering we're talking about in that day and age, I could even this might be a little, but something like a point and click adventure.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Maybe more like later on, Telltale
And
type
also,
of thing.
Whatever you're creating for it can also be today.
Yeah.
Too. But yeah.
Yeah. So, and we're Telltale today.
Yeah.
So I'm actually thinking like that kind of genre for it.
I would absolutely love
and
it.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw that blindly. I love Galaxy Quest. Great movie, by the way.
If any of you haven't watched that, we probably won't be reviewing it on the channel just because we both watched it numerous times.
Yeah. But I'm gonna put that second.
Second, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that second.
Make a note. Okay. Second, Charles, we're going to give you, and if any of these you haven't seen for some reason, let me know and I have extras.
Yeah.
Universal Soldier, the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
I haven't seen it all the way through.
Okay.
I've seen parts, but I know I know enough to come up with an answer to this first-person shooter.
Okay.
We're talking first-person shooter, pretty linear. There'd probably at this point be some multiplayer. Multiplayer is not my forte, but so either not like a Gears type, because again, it's not going to be squad based, right?
Also, story sucks.
So yeah, exactly. Gears has great stories. But probably like something Call of Duty ish, like something like a Call of Duty ripoff.
Okay.
I'm gonna put that 4.
Okay.
But because that could be a good, I like a good first solid for 8 to 10 hour first player campaign.
Okay. The Will Smith classic, Wild Wild West.
Oh Jesus. Well, okay. Would I want a game based from this? No. I would not want a game based from this. Now, a game based from this. Oh God. Well,
and if you can't think of one, it's
well,
not.
I mean, again, by the way, this is gonna be number 5. I mean, so it'd be fun if I put something shit at number 1. But that's the fun of the game.
Yeah.
Probably something more like more like not like level based and shitty. Let's throw microtransactions in there, because microtransactions piss everybody off, including me, and I hate Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
So like action adventure level based, but with lots of microtransactions.
Okay. Next, we have a classic that I know you've seen multiple times.
Yeah.
Everybody here watching has. Starship Troopers.
Oh, Starship Troopers. Yeah, so there's a couple of ways that you could go. You know what? What would be really good? I'm thinking like sandboxy, like first person. There'll be first person shooting, but also sandboxy. Think a la because there's a lot of different activities that you could kind of come up with, taken section by section of a planet, something like a Far Cry, like in the same type of format as Far Cry. And I'm gonna put that as 1.
Okay.
Because that'd be really cool.
Okay. Okay.
And we reviewed Starship Troopers, by the way. It's in a backlog.
Last, And tell me if you haven't seen this. The Robin Williams classic, Bicentennial Man.
I have not seen Bicentennial Man. I know it's about, he's like a robot who's slowly becoming like more human.
Yes.
And I know it's supposed to be. God, we should consider doing that.
Yeah, I was. that might have been part of the hidden reason why your brother.
So I have not seen it. I know it's again about a robot who wants to be a real boy. I think after he got like his first Oscar, I think he was like he wanted more. He was trying to get that one. What dreams may come. I know this would be a no that I wouldn't want to. Just because I don't really see a game out of it.
So that would be your 3?
That'd be my 3.
Yeah. So your list here, which everybody's going to be able to see on the screen there, is going to be 1, Starship Troopers, 2, Galaxy Quest. Your third most one you wanted is Bicentennial Man.
Fuck.
4 is Universal Soldier, and you got the 5th one probably right, Wild Wild West.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 5, I'm very happy with. Sorry, no. 1, 2, and 5, I'm happy with where they are ranked. Retrospect, I would have switched. Universal Soldier would be my third best because I'd play that one.
Yeah.
You know, again, that's another one we should probably
Just,
cover. I've seen like 10 minutes maybe. I know the story. Yeah. Like I know the general thing. You know, and play is Dolph Lundgren.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, all right. So, who do we got directing? Who do we got behind the scenes here in Warcraft?
Director, we have Duncan Jones, who was the director of the movie Moon. Have you seen Moon?
Oh, fantastic!
Oh, it's
movie.
Moon is
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell's spectacular.
Yeah, great film.
And I was looking. This guy hasn't done Warcraft. Wasn't too long ago, but he hasn't done much since Warcraft.
No, Moon was after this.
No, Moon was before Warcraft.
Oh, this
Moon got him Warcraft.
Oh,
is what I think happened.
Fuck.
And I'm just sort of guessing that, Pete. But I'm pretty sure Moon got him Warcraft.
Yeah, but hey, don't. By the way, my total that don't assume that like I'm gonna be shitting on this movie. But yeah, this movie is seen as kind of a flop in this country.
Yeah.
It
stars a lot of the stars Travis Fimmel, Paula Patton, and then Ben Foster is probably the most known.
Yeah,
is probably the most known actor.
Yeah,
that people would recognize face wise.
Yeah, like I recognize the King.
Where do I know him from?
I don't know where you know him from. I know he's in. I think he's in the Mamma Mia musical.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Couple things going into this. There's a couple things you got to know. One, this was not made with the United States audience in mind. They didn't give a shit whether or not we liked it.
Okay.
They would have loved it if it made a little bit more, but they cared about China and Japan.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it was because this movie made $20 here. And it cost a lot of money, cost a lot to market it. It made $300 to $400 worldwide, barely missing its break-even point, factoring in marketing. Most of it was a huge hit in China and Japan. And again, one factor know their target audience are China and Japan. Also, they don't give a shit about people that are new. To people that don't know World of Warcraft, they don't care.
No, and that's one of the takeaways I had from this is that someone who kind of knows the lore, but did this is a specific story. There's because the green shit, which we'll get into as we kind of talk through some of this, but that green shit I remember is from a specific campaign part.
Yeah, and some of the characters are I want to say the human guy, the main human. I think Lothar. That's a real, especially in the World of Warcraft. I'm sorry, Warcraft 3. If he's playing the right character, Warcraft 3 big, and then he turns bad. I think Wrath of the Lich King.
That's what I was thinking.
Because Wrath of the Lich King is where he really makes his reappearance in World of Warcraft. and three I think kind of chronicles he's a hero and kind of descend into doing some questionable shit.
Because your brother recognized the green shit, and then as your brother plays these games a lot, he kind of skips through the old dialogue a lot, which makes it harder when you're watching a movie that's lore heavy and they don't care if you learn the lore. But yeah, we start here with an orc, and I might be mispronouncing his name, Dutan.
Sure.
His wife's pregnant, and they are part of a clan that's struggling a bit, but gets kind of all the orc clans are getting summoned, basically.
Yeah, and first of all, one thing I liked about this movie, and one thing I'm gonna find, I'm telling you right now, my take on this movie is probably gonna be a lot different than like the general public at large. Okay, I saw this like in theaters. I hadn't seen this in 10 years. But I love the fact that this is not a humans good, orcs bad. Because if you play the games, especially with World of Warcraft, it's not just they're at war. It's not a bad good, which I like that. But like, yeah, the orc world's dead. It's dying, and so they're coming. They're gonna come to Azeroth through this big ass portal, which I believe is game accurate. I think again, I don't always pay attention to the lore, and I haven't played tons of World of Warcraft lately. But yeah, I believe that's the kind of guest is, and only this isn't a friendly portal.
No, they have to. It sounds like that. There's and I forget the guy's name. The priest for the orcs who's kind of running all this shit.
The bad guy.
The bad guy is that you have to have sacrifices to keep the portal open, and somehow they got a bunch of humans.
No, they weren't humans. They were like blue guys.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, this and 10,000.
The humans were on the other side.
Yes,
is where okay. But yet they had a bunch of people that were basically being sacrificed to keep that door open. And our guy, Dutan, and his wife were part of a clan because they didn't have enough sacrifices to get everybody through. And so the strongest of the strong went through first because then they were going to do stuff on the other side to get the door ready to bring everybody else in.
Yeah, because essentially they're going to send their army.
Exactly.
Their army. And in the beginning, one thing I'll say throughout this movie, even 10 years later, is the visuals are great.
Oh yeah,
this movie has fantastic visuals.
And I apologize. It's something I should have did. So this movie came out 10 years ago.
Yeah, 2016.
And I will say for anybody who's on the fence about watching this is that this would have had a ton of CGI in it, and it doesn't take you. At least for me, it didn't take me out of it. Where a lot of movies nowadays, when they try to put the CGI and stuff in there and merge it. It looks bad, or especially stuff from 10 years ago that they try and do, it can look bad. This didn't look bad whatsoever.
Yeah. I will tell you when we'll get to it, there was one thing that consistently took me out of it, and it wasn't computer generated at all. It was the character's name rhymed with both are. The main human.
Oh.
We'll get there. Like the main human.
Your brother's bad with names, and about 3/4 of the way through, I think I called him Cool Guy in my notes.
Really, Cool Guy?
That's the guy with the beard who just never wore armor, and then until they needed him to wear armor, and I didn't know what else to because I called him like weird mage guy.
Shitty. Okay, it's that guy, Lothar. You could also call him shitty, pathetic fucking actor from Central Casting who brings the movie down.
What about Andalin? Am I thinking of that guy the right way? I might be I might be completely wrong. I looked up somebody's name and I thought it was Andalin, or I might be.
Could have been one of the women. Could have been the king. I forget the king's name.
That's probably who it is. Okay. Yeah.
No, the king's king.
No.
Well played.
There's
literally one actor, one performer that I think just craps themselves and craps all over the movie, and that's the quote the lead human Lothar. He is just one of the worst one of the worst performances I've seen in all these 40 movies, and we saw Galaxy of Terror like a month or two ago.
And I think part of for me what happened with this too, and this is a benefit for people who know the lore and stuff, but like. It felt like this movie easily could have been a series. It easily could have been like a trilogy kind of thing. But they said, fuck it. We're not sure if this is going to make 3 movies. We want to tell as much as we can in this, and then we're just going to skip over giant chunks of lore and just assume people are going to catch up on the road, is kind of what happened. As long as you go into it being okay with that, or knowing the stuff because you played the game, but know that you're going to have 2 characters in a bar fighting, and then the next scene they're going to be like halfway through a quest. Yeah. And you're not going to know where they're going, why they're going there, but just know that, hey, now they're fighting a bunch of shit, and that's really cool.
Yeah, and also, please, if you're a fan of World of Warcraft, and you go to watch this movie, and you decide, you know what, I've watched with a couple buddies, I haven't seen this before, I love World of Warcraft, let's play a drinking game. First of all, keep in mind that, like, you know, this was made before most of the expansions came out. Not all, but most of them. If you do make up a drinking game, do not take a drink every time there's a World of Warcraft Easter egg. You will be dead in 20 minutes. It's like, it's like, you know, Ironforge, Stormwind, Endless Vaults, name dropping 15 different other locations in the map. You know, you got like the Murlocs, you know, just a random shot of Murloc, you know, just like. They throw so
much.
Which most of them are fine. Most of them don't take you out of it as quick.
Oh yeah.
But don't play a drinking. Don't turn that into a drinking game. You'll die.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're gonna, you know, they basically kill all the 10,000 blue people in order to send their warband over into Azeroth, which they also pregnant wife sneaks into.
Yet pregnant wife sneaks in and has the baby promptly upon. Apparently, she was super pregnant.
Yeah. Really fucking pregnant.
Really, because like probably within 5 minutes of going through the portal, it's like, hey, there's a kid, and that priest we talked about, who's the bad guy, is really fucking pissed.
Yeah, like, and so's like everybody else, you know, for the most part. Like, hey, I'm not an orc biology, you know, orc doctor. I'm not an expert at orc anatomy, but it seems like if she had the kid like a minute into coming to Azeroth, she was like in labor like for a while, and she probably should not have come while she was in labor.
Well, it looked like the kid just sort of slipped out. Like
over dilated.
But again, I don't know orc anatomy, but it looked like it just, but also felt like they're like, hey. If we're not careful, this movie's going to be 5.5 hours long. Yeah. we can't spend 15 minutes on a pregnancy.
Yeah, let's just have the
But like, we really want this Easter egg for later for this kid to exist. So
yeah. And so we go to Ironforge real briefly. We don't really have.
Is that the Flying City, or is that? No, that's the Dwarf City, right?
The Dwarf City. I really don't know why we go to Ironforge. We meet Lothar and a dwarf, and I'll say, in terms of visuals, there's one thing that looks bad in this movie, ironically, and it's the dwarves.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it.
I think, though, that they kind of realized that because they didn't use the dwarves.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of dwarves. But, like, the dwarves, visually, but also, like, one aspect of this movie that I said it's a small thing, but, like, we meet, you know, Lothar is basically, he's kind of talking to a blacksmith guy, and, like, you know, the blacksmith guy is finishing, like, a little gun blunderbuss, which are common in the Warcraft world. Lothar apparently is a fucking moron because he's like, what's that? What's that do? Boom say. But the movie itself, like, okay, so if the movie had decided to make it like, okay, these are a new thing, fine. But they make it clear throughout the rest of the movie that these are like, you know, they're not everywhere, but like, they're a common weapon.
It wasn't like that was the first one made. Yeah. Lothar's a fucking dipshit.
Yeah, like, so, but yeah, so literally that's all the time. It's like, hey, this is for you. You need to go back to Stormwind. And then we're done with Ironforge.
And then we're done with, I think that was kind of one of the classic, what my brother's mentioning. Hey, here's we want to have Ironforge in here. And so
and that's one of the major cities. So Stormwind, that's another one of the major cities. That's where the Stormwind area is where we're going to spend the bulk of our film.
Yeah, because then we get to Stormwind, that's where we also get introduced to the mage guy. The mage guy, not Ben Foster, but
we have a younger mage.
Mage guy. He's from, like, they don't explain it really at all, but he's from some, like, mage group that's like, outcast or
Yeah,
that
they
people
don't like him.
people don't like or whatever for some. They don't really explain it other than people.
Them
They
bad.
make initially what your brother thought because he doesn't know a lot about the
Yeah.
the Warcraft lore. Is I initially thought it was like, oh, mages in this point of the Warcraft lore must just mages in general must be hated.
Yeah.
Is what I was thinking.
Oh,
But then not
him.
it's just that group.
Yeah.
And basically he's hunting around looking for some. He was like looting a dead body, I think. Or I
He was examining it because at this point the orcs have already started attacking,
oh that's
and
right.
he had kind of noticed like the green mist
Yeah, that's
and
right.
something like that, and so he'd already so he's kind of already on that trail. This actor did fine. He's
Yeah.
again, the only actor I had issue with, Lothar, the actor, and also the writing for that actor. There were some issues with the writing with that actor as well that did not spread out necessarily to the rest of the film in terms of issues, but we'll get to that. Well, speaking of which, Lothar, he has a son.
Yeah,
Like
which is
his age.
which like story beat wise is going to be very 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 important. Your brother though didn't realize for another hour or so that that person was in fact his son, because basically Lothar, who at this point in my notes I'm referring to as Iron Guy.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what I is.
That's a good one.
He's
Good one.
He's guy we met in Ironforge.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a dwarf, so he was
Yeah,
Iron Guy.
Iron Guy. I like it.
Is Iron Guy and Mage left on a bird? Is what
Yeah.
is but
Yeah,
but before they
flying him out.
Iron Guy Lothar meets or talks to just a younger soldier is all you is all you know, but you don't know it's his son. And a movie like, and part of it, I think it just they got in trouble with some of this stuff because they wanted to squeeze so much, because you can tell the people who did this were fans of were heavy fans of it, which is good. I'd rather have that than the other way and just take a steaming shit on the lore, which is not what they did. But from a story writing aspect, if you had spent a little time just developing the two of their relationship, when later on, spoiler, when his son dies, it would mean more.
Yeah,
is the thing that would have been a much heavier moment that they wanted to be if they had spent 5-10 minutes here talking about like maybe the son had a problem and they mentioned the dead wife or something there. They talk about that, or even be the mom's anniversary of her death, and just have something like that where they talk about it and bond a little bit or something. Is what I wish. Looking back, I wish it happened.
They needed to develop it. Also, if you could have had a couple performers that were not like 6 years apart in age, that would have helped. Because again, that's like
in fairness to your brother, Charles, that's also part of the reason why until they specifically said it was his son, it never dawned on me. Because I felt like one of the actors was like 27 and his son was like 23.
Yeah,
is what it looked. I think what it's supposed to be is I think Lothar's supposed to be in his 40s. Mid 40s maybe, and his son's supposed to be in his 20s. Is what I think it's supposed to be. But
visual, it did not come across as at all. Yeah, develop more and either change the performers in some way or change the relationship.
Well, all you really need to do, like, just add a little bit of gray to his beard.
Or make the son younger, make the son like a fucking squire or something like that.
Or a nephew, or
or a brother, younger brother. That could
we
work.
don't know.
Younger brothers are awesome.
And let us know in the comments if that's actually from the lore, if you know. But it's the kind of thing where it's like if they had spent more time developing it, because I think that was one of the crucial things later, because that was such a like, because they filmed it, that scene later where there's that fight scene was filmed so great.
Yeah,
it was such a great fight scene, and his son sacrificing himself to save everybody was such a great moment, but would have meant so much more. Like if you gave a shit about their relationship.
Yeah.
And this isn't like a problem that's like unique to Warcraft. And I think, like I said earlier, I think they just got in a situation where they wanted to put they're like, hey, we're getting to make a Warcraft movie. Let's put as much in there as we can.
Yeah, and this kind of goes to them trying to put so much in. One of the issues I had with this film was and going along with what you're saying, this film is very, very much one of its high things is setting up sequels. That obviously never happened. And there's a couple things we'll get to later that really hits it. Is like I said, I think they should have done a smaller story.
But also,
they bit off a bit more than they can.
You could still have the story be lore appropriate, like because something like you mentioned, Wrath of the Lich King. I never played that, but from what I understand, that's a great story. You don't need to show. You can have a contained story about that, you know, kind of thing. But the other thing I want to mention here is the Iron Guy and Mage left on a bird to go see Ben Foster.
Yeah, because young Mage, basically what he's doing this time is he's trying to get the Guardian summoned. The Guardian's like the protector. He goes to like his people, like his mage people, and he shows like, hey, and they're like, yeah, no, we don't summon Guardian. Then he's like, but this is what I found. They're like, oh shit. So and so then they're gonna summon the Guardian, which is a person, Ben Foster.
Exactly. And the other thing I wrote here is that every line delivered is the most important line ever. is the other thing I was noticing, and again, I more fault the director for that rather than so. But then Ben Foster, Mage, and okay, here's where I transitioned to Cool Guy. Now they, after a interaction there, they went to see the King. So we're introduced to the King.
I will not call him Cool Guy.
No,
But also one thing I know. Ben Foster, he's making a golem, which is cool.
Oh yeah.
But also Ben Foster's Guardian really fucking hates the young wizard boy.
And I will say, in this movie, as well as virtually every movie that I watch with Ben Foster, acting wise, Ben Foster steals the spotlight, and which is I mean that in a good way.
Yeah.
But Ben Foster, in every movie he's in, like you can tell he's the best actor.
Yeah.
You know what? I motioned to that from? Wasn't he in 3:10 to Yuma?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
He was, like Russell Crowe's, lieutenant, right hand man, who then essentially turns into kind of the lead bad guy. Yeah. And so one thing, again, I'm not shitting on this movie, but it's clear that Ben Foster is slumming a little bit here, and I don't mean that in a bad way. You talk to some of your great, some of your great actors, they do movies. The reason why they do movies like this, that Warcraft, whatever, is, you know what it does? It pays the bills and allows them the freedom then to choose whatever low-paying art movies they want. So again, it's a great. I'm just saying. I just assume he's obviously the best actor in this movie.
Well, it's also the kind of thing where I never will really rip actors too much for that, because this is also their job, and they need to feed their families and all that kind of stuff too. And one movie, as long as it's not like, hey, you're not doing this, and it's like Razzie all-time bad, and you're the reason why. Someone like Ben Foster doing a movie like this, it's gonna be perfectly fine.
Yeah, oftentimes it's a little fun. Like Robert Redford when he did Captain America too, because that was a genre that and some of them, it's just like when Robert Redford was asked, like, why'd you do this movie? This is not you at all. He's like, I wanted to be able to say I'd never done a movie with a lot of green screen, a lot of technology and stuff like that. Never done this type of genre at all. Before I retired, I just wanted to be able to say that I dipped my toes into the water and done a movie like that. So sometimes like that too, that you just want to expose yourself to something different. And
so we have now. Your brother got confused about who the Guardian was.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so now Cool Guy's called the Guardian. Because I didn't know who the Guardian was.
Yeah, I know.
So now I thought maybe that Iron Guy, Cool Guy, Lothar was Guardian, which of course we know later he's not. And I wrote in my notes here, they're on their way to find the green shit.
Yeah.
Is basically what they don't really explain where they're going. They just, hey, they're going somewhere to find the green stuff.
And honestly, I think part of it is, again, this movie goes a mile a minute trying to get through it. I think if you want to set up sequels, they should have got a little small. I'm not going to, I don't have the whole thing mapped out, but I think the tag you have for to go into the next one is that they're building a new They're going to build a portal to get the rest of that should have been like, okay,
1,000%.
we're ending, and this gives you more room to breathe, more heart, and you're not going quite a mile a minute,
and
you can still tell a good action-packed story.
Well, I think what you also do is you utilize the fact you're able to get an actor like Ben Foster for that Guardian role, because the story they tell with him is a good story, and the fact that he's good, he's there for the sake of the realm and to help everybody, but the fact that he gets corrupted by all this stuff is an interesting story to tell.
And one thing they're also not clear. One thing that's definitely true but they're not very clear with this, is he was corrupted prior to this movie.
Oh.
Like, he didn't know it, the corruption started, because they mentioned, like, they say a couple times that the orcs were called.
I may have missed it.
Yeah, the orcs were called into this realm.
Oh, that's right.
They were called into this realm.
By Ben Foster.
But
by the green shit that had.
Because, and they also allude to, again, setting up way too much in the sequels. They allude to that there's some demon or something like that corrupted Ben Foster, that they're probably setting up as like the big bad down the road. Again, if you told a smaller story first, you would have had a little more time, because it's very easy to not realize that Ben Foster, his corruption had started, but it progressively got worse, and he didn't realize he was corrupted.
No, he didn't realize. He didn't realize he was corrupted, and so as they're on their way to find the green shit, there's
called the Fel.
The Fel, yeah, thank you. Is that the orcs attack him, and we have a really cool fight kind of there in the woods. We get introduced to a couple. I think what's his name, Dotan or whatever, is in that fight.
He is, yeah. He gets away, but he is in that fight. And then afterwards, they're trying to find someone who's alive so they can interrogate. They also encounter, and this is never explained, the orc lady.
Oh yeah,
she's chained. When they meet her, she's chained.
Oh yeah.
They never really. Hey,
it's something Charles missed this time.
I know that they didn't like her or something like that.
No, she was. You know why she was chained?
Yeah.
I don't know why they brought her through the fucking gate.
Yeah.
But like, she was chained because they called her a half breed.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, but like.
Because I think what it was is that one of her parents was orcs, one of her parents was human. That's why. But why they brought her through the goddamn gate? Who knows? Yeah. Why they brought her from camp to like this fight? Who knows? Other than hey, we need to get her to the good guys, or not to the human side.
Now, despite that, I enjoy her character quite a bit. Now, I like her character.
She's one name that I think it could be that current orcs or something that I think she's a famous
character.
Is what I.
And then we get more scenes here from the Dotan or whatever way. One kind of ongoing storyline is basically what they're gonna name the kid. It sounds like and I made a note here. I'm getting more depth and heart from the orc family. That is 100% computer generated and is just voice acting.
Well, because you know who the kid is, right? You know who the kid is. The kid, the baby is one of the most famous orc ever.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
What's the name in Warcraft? What's the name of the job's done?
Oh, the peon?
Yes, I think he's supposed to be Thrall. Which is and tell me if I'm completely fucking off base.
But
I think he's supposed to be one of the most famous, because I think that was also what they were planning with subsequent shit.
Yeah,
is that he's one of the more famous ones in the low, but
which makes sense.
But the other thing I wrote, so now the orc woman is the men say they don't trust her, and this is one of the famous scenes where your brother got really fucking confused because they're like, hey, we don't trust her, should we torture her and all this shit, and then like the next scene they're like, hey, yeah, we're good now.
Yeah, I know exactly right.
They're like, yeah, we don't have time to.
And like the young mage like at camp and stuff is just like fucking like.
Oh yeah, he's horny as shit.
Yeah, like God. I'm like, Jesus.
But when they were, I did find it funny that they did call him out on that.
Yeah, yes, they do. I'm like, I wrote down, Jesus, stop staring, you fucking creep.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of that, this character is fine. I'm like, Jesus, like, take a cold fucking shower.
Okay, and So shortly after this is when we find out Iron Guy Lothar has a son. Where I said, so Guardian Guy has a son. At this point, I still think he's the Guardian.
Again, this all accounts to, again, they go too fast. They're a ton of exposition, ton of plot. Also throwing out tons of additional places, because remember some of these meetings with like the king, he's like talking about where like placement of troops. He's listing tons of different regions from.
It'd be like, for all you Game of Thrones fans, what if they had the entire first 2 seasons of Game of Thrones in like 2.5 hours? it's because then I wrote down here who are the Fell, because they haven't explained that the Fell of the green is the green shit. And I wrote, hey, this is the first part where I think we start getting where Ben Foster might be bad.
Yeah, we started get like he's used the Fell. It's kind of we see him use the Fell, and also we see Dotan. He's seen it because like this necromancer that brought the orcs in. Dotan sees that he's bad. He sees because this Fell, it kills, like basically when used, like it's very much undeady, and it kills like
it destroys the land. And this is kind of, you alluded to when we were doing our first intros and stuff, that you appreciated the fact that the orcs aren't bad, like it's not just a bad good thing. And that's where at this point is where I kind of appreciated that too, because you can tell that this was going to be kind of the main kind of arc of the story, was that, hey, he realizes that this is hurting the orcs overall, and he needs to partner with the humans to. Yeah,
and one aspect of kind of explains, as you said, kind of the ratings at the beginning, how the massive discrepancy between Rotten Tomatoes and audience. Generally speaking, not Universal, but World of Warcraft fans, a lot of them fucking love this film.
Oh, I can see, because
a lot of them, and so
a lot of the stuff that I didn't even have a problem with it. Is it just the fact that they didn't explain the lore?
Yeah.
But actually, if you're trying to simply go towards the World of Warcraft fans, fuck it, just go for what you want to do. But like, I got confused. Yeah. But like, the movie was still super enjoyable for me, because the CGI was perfectly fine. They told a good story on the orc side that I was able to follow pretty easily. And the fight scenes of all the movies we've done is one of the top couple fight scene movies that we've done, even though that most of it was kind of CGI stuff. But like, it was well done.
Very well done. And so we're also getting between Lothar and Green Girl, Gamora with teeth, is romance. We get a
Gamora didn't have teeth.
I meant like, the big old teeth. Gamora with big teeth.
Part is wondering if I haven't really missed something in Guardians.
No, and so and then they're gonna do the parlay, set up the parlay, and that's where like this big they convince the king. That's where like Dotan's there with his clan, and the Guardians kind of
because basically is this the part where the Dotan meets the king? Because they basically they're saying, hey, meet us here. We're going to talk about how we can overthrow the evil guy from the orcs, kind of thing. And so this is when another big, cool fight scene comes in.
This is the one where the son dies.
This is one where the son dies, and I go, is this supposed to be sad?
Yeah.
So that's his son. Who the hell is he?
Yeah.
is what I wrote there in my notes.
Because basically what happened was Baldy, who I was referring to Dotan's, buddy, clanmate, I was referring to Baldy because he didn't have hair.
No, yeah, that's kind of what I was calling too.
And he basically betrayed him. And so Parlay went sideways, great action fight. Yeah, the son, don't really care. Like, I get it, dies, and, because, like, the Guardian's doing this thing, it kind of separates to protect some of the, because
he's trying to protect. I think he's trying to protect the king to make sure the king can get out. Is what I think he's trying to do.
Yeah.
And
again, we have Lothar acting shitty. When I don't mean behaving badly. I mean like the actors acting terribly. And which, going back to the romance, that didn't quite hit for me, because the computer's doing its job. But, the human just cannot rise to the level of the computer-generated orc lady acting. Because Lothar, again, the Lothar actor sucks ass. I doubt you're able to watch this, but if you watch this, you are a shitty actor in this movie. Shame on you.
It's normally, if you've watched our other stuff, normally I don't rip the actors too much, but like the fact that everybody else around him's doing so well, that's where I will kind of not rip them a ton, but it's like, because normally in these things, like when we're watching Galaxy of Terror, for example, I'm not going to rip the acting too much because it's like they're bonding and they're suffering. It's kind of
but like, meanwhile, like you got Ben Foster, like, he's probably just like, just. Count the money. But you got that down the road. You have that Taylor Sheridan's first movie he directed. You're going to be in that with Chris Pine. I mean, that was a number of years later. Yeah. But he's thinking like, there's better things tomorrow. But you also die in this movie, so you're not going to be in any sequels.
But also, you can tell like he acts the shit out of this damn thing. And
Ben Foster's great. Again, he just. Really underscores again just how badly low they are when you got a diamond all-star like Ben Foster. How the fuck has he not been nominated for a bunch of Oscars? I don't know.
His time has to be high. My guess is that it's just going to be the one. Hey, he did the independent film that like rises to the top.
Yeah.
But then at the end of that fight, Rona, who's the orc lady, the mage, and Ben go home because I think Ben's like all tired and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is also where I would put, hey, I thought Ben was bad, but like Ben sends Rona somewhere to help her, and so I was also really confused at this point if Ben.
Again, they had really shown us a little bit more of how he's fighting. He doesn't
exactly.
Yeah, they really. And basically, we see like the orc massive gates already almost done with like the tens of thousands of prisoners. Like, man, they work fast. Again. Should have saved it for a second movie if there's a second, but whatever. Like, all right,
Yeah, there was also ways they could, if they really wanted this to be in it, they just, what you do is you cut out that cool fight scene where they first take the female orc lady. You cut that out. That cuts out 20 or 30 minutes. You have them go straight from there to the fight scene in the what do you call it, where they meet. You just cut some of that shit out. Is what they probably needed to do.
Yeah, and here we get, and don't get me wrong, they didn't give us, it's not like they didn't give us precedence. There was a montage earlier in the movie about, like, that just showed really quickly, it was like villages will stop being taken. So it's not, it's not like they didn't give us, it's not like the, shit.
It's not like other movies. It's also the kind of thing where they had that guy on there that said, hey, we need a few minute, to get it.
And so basically, after this, the good orc clan's getting wiped out.
Yeah.
And except for Baldy, because he, betrayed. But like Baldy, I mean, he's not all that. He just
and Baldy, like the female, the Dotan's wife who gave birth was going to get killed. But I think the rest of the clan was going to be okay if they submitted to the submitted to the Fel. Is what is at least that's what I thought was happening.
Basically, because like Baldy refused to Fel.
Exactly. Once he kind of realized because there was a fight scene. What's his nuts? The Dotan. There's a really cool fight scene between him and the the cleric guy,
Gul'dan. And that fight, because there's actually just unrelated. There's been kind of related, but showing up on my Facebook feed a couple times. But I guess as it was the Warcraft makers are looking into potential like a new movie, not going to be tied to this at all. Some of the people in the comments, and it was also going to spend 10 years, 10-year anniversary of this movie. But apparently, what really, I forget the name of that ritual was an established ritual talking about.
They referenced the specific. I don't want to mention the wrong thing to piss off Warcraft, but like they mentioned that specific. It was like. It was some sort of. It felt like it was some sort of thing where, like the leader of a clan could challenge for the head of the group, basically.
And that is something that had been previously established in the lore of the Warcraft universe heavily. And one thing that people is that was the first time it had ever been shown.
No, and I
only ever been discussed, like in dialogue as being a thing, but like. People thought, we actually saw it's M something. I forget what it is.
No, yeah, and I thought that was really well done because you can see that starts to turn some of the orcs against that guy.
Yeah, especially because Gul'dan. I mean, not Gul'dan. Dotan, the good guy, he dies because Goldon uses the fell on him, and they're like, "Hey, yeah, you're fucking cheat, you're fucking
cheating.
cheat."
The whole point of this is to
And even Goldon's, like right man lieutenant guy who accepted fell was like, "No, we can't do this." But then Goldon's like, wait, I'll turn everybody into this. And they're like, okay, so team fell because we don't want to be eliminated. That's kind of the way it works. And so the humans, they're trying to come now to a big final battle to free as many of these prisoners before they get destroyed, sucked, life source sucked out
off
for the guys before all these prisoners get sucked off and all the other orcs come in, and they do briefly get the portal up and you get a bunch more coming in, but then the humans do they're able to not without losses, but
because during the course of this, the Lothar and the mage guy are going to bend.
Yes, they're going. They fight. They fight and evilize.
Because that's the other half of, or not half, but the other part of the battle. Basically, is that they need to go basically stop Ben from, because Lothar knew Ben was bad, but no one believed Ben was bad, kind of thing. And so they're going to basically stop Ben and stop the door from opening, basically.
Yep. And they do that. There's some. What is there? The rain. Most of the people get away. But there's a small contingent that are trapped, and there had been some setting the stage for this. But the king, the smart king, he realized basically, okay, everybody's here is fucked, and so the best course of action for the future is a woman orc who's fully fighting for the humans now.
Yeah, I thought this was
can gain status by killing the king. So he has her kill him, and where a lot of the orcs can see, so she can be accepted.
Exactly. I thought that was really cool and unusual. Like, it wasn't like just some trope or something they throw in an action movie. Yeah, I thought that was a really cool way to do that.
Yeah, and then they throw in, because Lothar comes really fucking late after everything's done, but to get the king's body, he gets knocked out, and I guess they decided to do another ritual combat, because it was another ritual combat involving a human, even though he doesn't have a clan or whatever. But he fought, because they wanted to do a fight between him and the right hand orc.
It felt like, hey, we need to set up a sequel better. Is kind of what this part.
Yeah, and this is the one part of the movie where the fighting fell short, because okay, you could have had a really cool fight scene between those two. That fight scene lasted 6 seconds. It was a Brock Lesnar fight.
Yeah, it was one of those things where they were getting together, and then Lothar's like, or the big orc guy's like, I can only go 5 minutes. So we're just fuck what they said. Fuck what they said in the back. We just have to end this.
Yeah, the editor's they're just, okay, we got a 8-9 minute fight scene here. This is really gonna be.
We had something really cool. We're currently at 6.5 hours on
you have 8 seconds. Yeah, you have 8 seconds. So fuck, I'll just slide between his legs and
cut his nuts off.
And we'll call it a day. We'll go home.
Yeah.
And so the bad guy, Necromancer Goldon, he lives. He's now leading the rest of the orc army again. Lothar is now leading the humans. Again, poor position, down the road, because that's what he was, the king there, and that's kind of that. I mean, that's how we leave it.
Yeah,
that's how the movie. So, our rating scales. We have 2 rating scales here. We have Diamond and we have Duck. Okay, so Diamond is a legitimately good movie, scale from 1 to 5. One's more I don't need to revisit it. More 5 is oh my god, this movie is Citizen Kane. And then Duds, bad movies. But within that, there's levels as well. A dud of 1 means you'd rather, rip your eyes out before seeing it again. 5, the higher you go is guilty pleasures, so bad it's good, that kind of stuff. So where do you land on it?
I'm at a dud.
Uh-huh.
Mainly because as I was looking at whether it's a diamond or a dud, the fact that your brother couldn't follow the goddamn story at all, that hurt my rating of it.
That's fair.
I have it as a dud, 1.5.
0.5.
It's something I enjoyed. Like, for me, it would almost be worth watching again for the, what do you call it, for the combat scenes and such. But I was so goddamn lost in the story that even talking this through, if I were to watch it again, I don't know if I'd be able to follow it.
Yeah. All right. So this is what, again, this movie has a soft spot in my heart. This is a score that I actually have not given out yet.
Ooh, okay.
I'm a diamond.
Okay.
I'm a diamond number 1.
Okay.
So I am a diamond. Now, like, I do like it, but like there's some major flaws. Like I said, confusing, trying to fit too much in. The human actor, being fucking wet bread. But there is a lot that I do enjoy. But it's the same thing. Like I'm probably never seeing this movie again. This is probably the last.
The only way I would watch this again is if it had come out like that, hey, this lore was really good, or if they were going to do a sequel that was all pumped up or something I wanted to watch, I might watch it again, or watch someone bluntly. I'd probably watch someone react to it.
And if they do the sequel, if they do another movie, it's not going to be. They're not going to tie it to it in any kind of way.
No.
So, all right. So, what do we got on the docket next time?
Next, we have an '80s classic, Tron, which I don't think you've seen before.
I have not seen this movie. I know very little about it other than digital people, Jeff Bridges, red and blue, and it was probably really fucking expensive in 1982. Yeah. That's it.
I've seen it, but it's been a long, long time since I've seen it, and I remember a bunch of stuff in the arcade for it.
Yeah. So. All right, so like us, subscribe, follow us on all the stuff, the TikToks,
we're on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, every place you get podcasts. Anything you can give us, we appreciate that. If not, thank you for anybody who listened.
Yeah.
And